From the Bob Mills Weather Center, meteorologist Stephen Nehrenz.
And of course, that friendly reminder, obviously we're talking about it because that's this weekend. So Saturday night, well, Sunday morning, officially Sunday morning at 2 a.m. is when that happens, when we jump from 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. So set your clocks ahead 1 hour Saturday night. Those ones that do need to be set ahead don't just do it for you automatically anymore. And again, that's, like as we said, that's the one where we lose an hour of sleep this time around. And then we start getting those later sunsets. And as we, head further into spring, we start getting some longer daylight hours in here. All right, back to the rain event. Those first round of heavy storms that rolled through late last night through very early this morning. Some big downpours, but it was a very sharp dividing line. I mean, quite literally, I-44 is right in here. I-44 was like literally the dividing line here between heavy and not so heavy, even in the metro. So from downtown Tulsa to Owasso, about 3 to 4/10 of an inch of rain. You get to Skytook, though, barely, up around maybe 1/10 of an inch of rain. And then just south of the I-44 corridor, Jinx, Gwenpool, Bixby, over an inch, close to 2 inches of rain in Bixby. Most of that falling last night. Wagner, 1.5 inches of rain. And that extended down to about I-40. Bristow, Okemo, Okmulgee, Muskogee spots had 1 to 1.5 inches of rain. But yet again, we keep saying this over and over and over again with all these storms. It just keeps happening. These storm systems are just not bringing a lot of rain to areas northwest of Tulsa, and that's where we really desperately need it. From a drought standpoint, that's where we're still under extreme to exceptional drought. The divide keeps growing here because all these systems keep going heavier to the east and southeast. So drought's gone in our eastern and southeastern counties, and at this point, it's more flooding concerns for our far eastern areas now when we get these heavier rains in here. So eventually, we'll get a system that brings better rains to our northwestern counties, but this one just hasn't been doing that so far, and it doesn't look like the next round later tonight will do that either. So as we head to the late night hours and then into early tomorrow morning, storms will be developing in far southern Oklahoma, kind of closer to the Red River, spreading to the north and east. And generally, our southern counties is where it will be heavier, where you see the darker green and yellow. That could be another 1 to 2 inches of rain late tonight, early tomorrow. The lighter shade of green is less than 1 inch, and then north and west of Tulsa, well less than 1 inch. It's not out of the question that, again, some of our northwestern counties could see little to no rain as far as anything measurable as that moves into early tomorrow morning. And even Tulsa, we may be kind of on the lighter side of totals overall with that next batch. And the storm timeline, again, kind of like what we just had, it's going to be late night into early morning. Might be slightly later than last night. So notice the rain timeline here through the afternoon, through the evening, very low opportunities. Just kind of some spotty showers and some areas of drizzle. Even through about 10 o'clock, chances are still relatively low. And then from midnight into early tomorrow morning, through morning sunrise, probably even through morning rush hour, scattered showers and thunderstorms, some locally heavy, and then those chances will be trending down by midday and especially into tomorrow afternoon. That'll be the system moving out. There's a look from Tulsa International. It's been looking like that all day today so far. We're stuck in the upper 40s. North winds are relatively light, but we're still pretty much saturated. So some areas of fog in spots. Where we've seen maybe a sunbreak or two briefly, we're in the mid 50s, most of us in the low 50s, and that's pretty much where we're going to stay this afternoon for our high temperatures. Get eventually a spotty shower or two developing. Here's that heavier storm activity starting in southeastern Oklahoma tonight, and then eventually it spreads north, including more of northeastern Oklahoma early in the kind of the very early pre-dawn hours tomorrow morning. And again, some of that will try to sneak to our northern counties as well, but it'll generally be heavier and steadier in our southern areas. Through morning rush hour tomorrow, going to be fairly soggy where those heavy storms are continuing. Temperatures, again, not moving a whole heck of a lot. We'll have that through the morning hours. Then it looks like after lunchtime, our next front starts to move in. That clears out the moisture. So after the lunchtime hour tomorrow, if not before then, most of this is moving out. And with any luck, we may get some sunshine late in the day. Thursday, might have one more flare up of storms in far southeastern Oklahoma Thursday afternoon as that front moves in. So there is some better looking weather on the horizon. Again, even by this time tomorrow, we may be starting to see those sun breaks creeping in west of Tulsa. Friday, dry, but it'll be a little on the cool side. Highs in the 50s with the north breeze. Clouds on the increase on Saturday. Another storm system shows up for the weekend. Could produce a few stronger storms in a few spots Saturday night into Sunday morning when we're making that time change.